Alright, a little power test bench so I can get everything paired together before we hook it up. Alright, so we're going to move those screws around that we talked about in the first video. Alright, so now my screws are opposite corners, leaves these two open. Alright, so I got a little test bench going on here. Wires, everything's hooked up, powered. Turn on our monitor. That's our rear view camera. There's our quad view. There's rear. Call this driver side. Call this passenger side. Or camera 1, which is again drivers. And camera 2, which would be passenger. Camera 3, not hooked up. Camera 4 automatically comes pre-paired to the rear view camera. So everything's paired, working real well. I can disconnect it and start the install. Alright, I got the cameras, or the lenses off. We'll get these last screw out. Grab a razor blade. Carefully cut the silicone. Last thing I want to do is scratch the paint. Twist. Oof, it's a big hole. Alright, it's getting a little late. It's getting dark. We got this all cleaned up. Silicone's all gone. Surface is clean. Just gonna get these wires stubbed in. I can do all the work from inside the bay door over here. Alright, it was getting late last night and I didn't get this on video, but this light's installed. Stainless steel screws. The stock ones that were in there were, well, rusted, so they weren't tightening up. So I got a number 10 coarse screw, about 2.5 inches long, and they went all the way through the body and tightened up real nice and tight. I also put a bead of silicone caulking around the hole that was in the wall, and then also in both screw holes. The unit does come with a like a fibrous material sealer. I may or may not put a bead of silicone across the top. I'll keep an eye on that. I also ran its own wires specifically to the camera, and ran those to the other side while doing all my connections. I'm not going to use the power off of this to power that. I've got an isolation relay, so when the relay is triggered by the lights, it will turn on all of the cameras and use direct battery power. So that's all on and good, hooked up. The wires are up here. Gotta get these pulled out and tied up with some covering. It runs up over the front propane compartment across the gen compartment to the other side. Alright, so this is the beam I would have liked to have run into. Fortunately, you can see that there's a big spring inside here, and this cable end isn't going to fit down the back side. So I think what we're going to do is figure out how to mount the camera, pop out right here. We'll run it inside this area, maybe down behind this wall where it's not seen, and we'll come out right in the floor down here. Right there. Alright. Quick trip to the hardware store because somebody forgot his drill bit at work. 5/8 hole through here. We should be good to go. It's a little scary how easy that went through the floor. Alright, so I've lowered the bed. Where I gotta come through this hole, it's gonna be right into the sheet metal pan. So I gotta remove the screw over there, a couple screws inside, remove the pan so I can make this as clean as possible. One screw over here. Already removed this one. And on the far left, pull this out so I can figure out where my hole is gonna come through. Alright, so all the screws out and this pan's about to come out. I'm going to put a mark just below the pan so I know where to drill through. Pull this out about center with the pull string. I'll drill a 5/8 hole right there. Before the battery went dead, got everything screwed up nice and tight. It's on here, it's square. Again, there is an offset here, so it does not fit flush. I'm going to put some silicone up in behind here. You can, the amount of adjustability on this is so much greater. Straight back, and I can go all the way down to that. Hats off to Haloview for the amount of adjustability into that lamp. And then inside here, 5/8 hole for my cable. I'm gonna get a plug and cap that. So get in here and get the metal trim back in place and get this cable run. we go. Tape that up. Get all the cable connected. Alright, so I drilled a hole in a rubber cork and then slit the side. Slip the cable in that, little silicone around it, shove it through the hole. Alright, got that thing, some silicone in the hole, shoved through. And I have another one coming up from the bottom. Shouldn't have to worry about water. Back to zip tying everything, but basically comes right into this compartment here. All of my battery power, transmitter mounting. All right. Over here I still have to remove and clean this area here for that light. You can see I've got my wires pulled, a Bosch relay, the transmitter. Like I said, all these cables and wires have to be tidied up. In case of whatever we got in stock, I guess it will be different than the originals. Okay, lights installed, and now we've got all the wiring buttoned up inside here. RF transmitter, all the wires. Again, I'm using a relay to turn it on. Everything's cleaned up, nicely wire tied. Battery terminal posts coming from the top. Okay, right now I've got my little jumper turning the lights on, which are activating the relay to turn all the cameras on. So let's go see what it looks like in the truck. I'm a good 30 feet away. There's the rear camera. Quad. It's got rear, right, and left. Be the driver's side, passenger side, open channel, the rear. Now I'm going to play with the camera a little bit, adjust my lines to get them all the way out to the outsides of the rear of the camper. I did test this when I ran for some hardware, and I drove about a block and a half before I lost signal to the monitor. So I can't see losing this signal at all going down the road. I can't be happier with it so far. So I'm gonna get my mess cleaned up. We'll hook up the truck and give it a test drive.